Ways to naturally increase progesterone, part 2. If you missed part 1, be sure to go check that out. I did it a few days ago, and I talk about nutrition and lifestyle things, very simple things that you can do to naturally increase your progesterone. This is part 2. This is the advanced version. I'm going to talk about some supplements here, and be sure to check out the caption because I'm listing all of these out down there. And we also offer free consultations. If you want a deeper dive and a total body look at your hormones, not just looking at your hormones, but looking at everything that impacts your hormones, book a free consultation with us. This is exactly what we do as a functional health practice. So the first thing to understand is there's a direct relationship between stress and one of our big stress hormones, cortisol, and progesterone. And as cortisol goes up, progesterone goes down. So if you have a lot of chronic stress issues, if you have a lot of cortisol dysregulation issues, the chances that you're going to have progesterone issues is astronomically high. So one of the first things that we can do is look at cortisol and helping regulate cortisol a little bit more to help naturally bring up our progesterone level. So two of my favorite all-time supplements when it comes to this, Cortisol Manager for sleep support. Man, take this 30 to 60 minutes before bed. It's going to help naturally bring down those cortisol levels if you have a lot of trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. If you're a 3 a.m. wake up gal, this is a great one for you that a lot of people do really, really, really well with. There's also another product called Emotional Wellness, and Emotional Wellness is a little bit more broad spectrum support while also being related to cortisol, but also a lot of mental and emotional health support can go into this. This is another one I typically recommend taking in the evening as a bedtime kind of support to help naturally lower stress, anxiety, help with overall mood, all of the things, and which can also, once again, help naturally bring up that progesterone levels. The next one here is something more directly related to progesterone, and that is Chastry. It's also known as a Vitex. So you might see it listed both ways on a lot of supplements. There's a lot of brands that have this. So once again, I'm going to list quite a few of my favorites down below here. It really just depends on the person. Some are liquid, some are capsules, some are very low dose, some are a little bit more moderate to high dose. I typically like to start with a very low dose and kind of gradually work up as we need to, but this can help very naturally bring up progesterone. Some women just take it in like when they start to ovulate and then take it through the second half of their cycle. Some women do best taking it for their entire cycle. It really just depends on the person. This is also where labs can come in and be really, really helpful to understanding timing wise, when is this most appropriate for you? A couple other big things that go into play here. So the liver plays a really big role. And if you get a lot of breast tenderness, if you get a lot of quote unquote estrogen dominant type symptoms, and maybe your estrogen actually isn't dominant, it's just your progesterone that's lower, helping with those pathways and the metabolism of your estrogen can go a really, really, really long way. There's some basic liver supporting activities that you can do, but sometimes more advanced liver support goes a really long way. One of my all-time favorite supplements to help support this is called TEDCA. There's several companies that make it. They're all a little bit different in formulation. Some are a little bit stronger, some are not. This is a strong supplement, so be mindful of that. If you're just starting on your health journey, maybe start with some liver supporting activities, look at my first video, and then come back to this. But liver support can go a really long way in just metabolizing that estrogen, which can help balance that estrogen to progesterone levels. And sometimes that'll just, the body will work itself out. The other things we really need to take into account. So our overall liver health in general plays a really big role in our hormone health. If our internal stress is really high, whether that's nutrient deficiencies, chronic viral issues, toxin overload issues, especially mold, but not just mold, gut overgrowth issues, yeast, fungal, parasite, bacterial issues, all of these things impact the stress levels inside the body. And sometimes we need to address that first before we can even touch hormones. Otherwise, nothing's really going to change from a hormone level. And that is a big thing that we often do in our practice. We look bigger picture and kind of work our way in to the specific hormones themselves, but we first look at all of the things that impact the hormones, address those, reduce stress inside the body, and a lot of times the hormones just naturally balance themselves out, and or then we get more information if we're going to run some testing and we're not just trying to symptom manage. So if you need help and support, book a free consult with us. There's a link in our bio. We would love to help and support you through this whole process so you can feel good in your body again.